Let's talk about this all-female um MCU maybe movie, all-female X-Men led. This is I don't know if this is true. Marvel, MCU, Kevin Feige, they just have not learned nothing over the past course of these 3 years since the pandemic, everything post Endgame. They just haven't learned. And me as a big X-Men fan, I love all the women in the X-Men. I think Storm is dope. Rogue, um, Shadowcat, Jubilee, Psylocke, you know what I'm saying? Um, Marvel Girl, if you know what I'm saying, depending on how you do it. But the whole thing about the X-Men is they are a team, a unit. It's all about them working together to overcome said obstacles while also being looked at as different. You know what I'm saying? So when you try to elevate females, but you put the males down, that takes away from what the X-Men represent. X-Men represent diversity. Like this is your diversity play. And it's organic. It's already written in. You don't have to try to force feed it down anybody's throat because it's already there. So there's no need to do an all-female X-Men led group. You don't have to do that. I don't. Hopefully it is just a rumor and it's not true, man. But this is coming from comicbookmovie.com. Uh Says we recently learned that Marvel Studios had finally started development on this long-awaited X-Men reboot, with executives beginning to set writer meetings to hear pitches on how to bring the iconic mutant heroes back to the big screen. Though an announcement is not expected to be made until early next year, we're hearing that several writers have now taken meetings and may also have a slightly better idea of what the story will focus on. Says the script hasn't been written yet. Where am I at? Script hasn't been written yet, but according to the insider Daniel Rickman, the initial idea is to focus more on the female members of the team. Kevin Feige is believed to want to make the movie as different to the 20th Century Fox franchise as possible, which also means no Magneto for the time being, saying that the main villain is said to be Mr. Sinister. And I don't, Mr. Sinister, I'm cool with Mr. Sinister. I think Mr. Sinister is a dope villain. And he can play the big bad role, or he could be your mid-tier, you know what I'm saying, Loki type situation. And I don't mean Loki like, oh, he gets redeemed, because Mr. Sinister ain't no redeeming Mr. Sinister. But as far as he's the reason why certain things happen in the X-Men universe, you see what I'm saying, or in the X-Men movies going forward. Just how Loki is the reason why Thanos showed up for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Because he was Thanos' lackey, you know what I'm saying? Sinister can play that role. Like, I hate to say, I don't want to say let's duplicate what happened with the Avengers, but you might need to try to duplicate what happened with the Avengers as far as the overarching storyline, because you know what I'm saying, that might help. I don't know, that might help. So you pick and choose who's your Loki, who's gonna be your Iron Man stand-in, who's gonna be your Cap, your Thor, you know what I'm saying, your Black Panther, all of these elements, so you can bring them all together. Or you can do it X-Men first and start it breaking down, you know what I'm saying, individually. You can go backwards if you want to do it that way. Also, you can go backwards, so you can but other than that, you have to make us love the characters. If we don't love the characters, we're not gonna ride with you. That's what's going on right now. We don't love these characters, and you haven't made us love these characters. You try to force us into loving these characters, but you're writing them poorly. You're doing things that the fans don't want. So why would I love these characters? There's no reason for me to love these characters that you're trying to give me. Says one scribe who would love to take a crack at the story is Loki's Eric Martin, and from the sounds of things, he's far from the only one. He says, I think everybody's probably chasing after X-Men because I think that's where the richest characters are. Duh. I mean, as soon as Marvel said that they were getting X-Men back, as soon as Disney said we got them, everybody was waiting for an X-Men something to come along. And how long ago was that? Disney has had the property of Fox for a long time now. Still no traction on X-Men. Still no traction on the Fantastic Four. That's crazy to me. Says, but who knows? That's a decision for someone else to make, who's not me. As long as Marvel is happy, of course, I love to work on more MCU projects. Marvel has changed my life by trusting me to write this season. It's a lot of responsibility, and I hope I've earned the trust, he adds. I think for me, it all comes down to the characters. Do we have deep, interesting characters to work on? That's what gets me out of bed in the morning. Can I tell a deeply emotional, character-driven story with these people? That's what I like to hear. Deeply emotional, character-driven stories. It's simple. All of those movies were character-driven, emotional. You know what I'm saying? Sure, you can tie these things together, but you can't try to keep force-feeding the tie-in. Let the movie be organic. Let people love these characters. Feige assured fans that a reboot was in work shortly after Disney acquired 20th Century Fox's assets back. And so since 2019, they've had the X-Men, all the Fox properties since 2019, and it's 2023. We still ain't seen jack. 4 years, about to be 5. No, nothing. So there were rumors that contractual issues may have been preventing Marvel Studios from introducing new actors as established mutant characters such as Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, etc. to the MCU. It said that if Marvel wanted to reboot the team using any of the same characters from Fox's franchise before 2025, the likes of Simon Kinberg, Bryan Singer, and company will be at minimum entitled to credits and compensation, and may even have some degree of creative control. Now that's crazy. Hearing that is crazy. And I don't even know how to really comment on that. If that's the case, then I guess I would understand trying to let the contracts run out. And maybe that's the reason why we're getting Hugh Jackman back, because his contract isn't up. Now, like they said, that's a rumor. I don't know how accurate that is. So I don't know. I don't know. Says we have no idea if this is accurate, but it would explain why there's been radio silence on all things X-Men since 2019, and why the only established mutant character we've seen in the MCU is Professor X and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We've also got Namor and Miss Marvel as mutants, you know. Also, what it was, Mr. Immortal in the She-Hulk show. If anybody watched that trash. Hugh Jackman is also set to return as Logan for upcoming Deadpool 3. This wouldn't prohibit Marvel from debuting new mutant heroes and villains with no connection to the earlier films. However, which we saw when Kamala Khan was retconned as a mutant in the season finale of Miss Marvel. A recent rumor also claimed that the Israeli hero Sabra will be introduced as a mutant in Captain America: Brave New World. Come on, man. Get us hyped for the X-Men. You're not doing nothing to get the people hyped for X-Men. Give me the original 5. Let's start from scratch. Or if we're not going to start from scratch, let's start from the all new X-Men. Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, Cyclops, even though they was over at X Factor at the time. Warpath, Nightcrawler. You know what I'm saying? You not doing nothing to make us excited, Marvel, for anything you got going forward. Nothing. Jack Dookie. Like, I ain't excited for nothing. I'm waiting on the X-Men, but there's no excitement pumping through these veins right now. None. I like the Sinister. I like going the Sinister route because we don't necessarily need Magneto. We have had enough of Magneto. I would like to see Sinister. Some of these other, because X-Men has a massive rogues gallery. Some very powerful characters coming out of the X-Men side of Marvel. So starting with Sinister would be dope. I have no issue with that. None whatsoever. But this, if it's all female, that makes no sense. Makes no sense. X-Men is not about male or female. It's about being a team of outcast, if you want to say, right? We all know the allegory that was retconned into the X-Men about, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm X, Martin Luther King was Professor X and Magneto, and then, you know what I'm saying, the allegory of racism involved in this, which is if you think about it, it literally is about the human race against the mutant race, and how the mutants just want to be seen as regular people. Hey, we here to help. We regular. We not here to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, this is America. People are people. This is the world. You know how they get down. But I don't have an issue with. I love all strong that, and that's the dope thing about the X-Men. All of their female characters is strong characters and can hold on their own for the most part. Storm is, come on, man. Come on now. Who wouldn't want to see some actual Storm getting her just due? Not no disrespect to Halle Berry and the other girl who plays Storm, but a real Aurora Monroe, aka Storms, the goddess, the weather witch. That you know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Psylocke. Who wouldn't want to see the real Psylocke? The ninja. Shadow, you know what I'm saying? Shadow Cat, Kitty Pryde, Jubilee, Rogue. Not that whack Rogue we got in the X-Men films, but the Rogue, you know what I'm saying? The brawler, the Southern Belle, the brawler that she is, the never back down Rogue, the Rogue that took the powers of Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel at the time. Who wouldn't want to see the dynamic between Jubilee and Wolverine? That if you grew up in the 90s, that's one of the things that you saw reading the comic books. How he was like a parental figure for her, a father figure. Who wouldn't want to see Storm and Cyclops button heads with leadership? Come on, man. It's there. It's there. Don't kneecap yourself before you even get out the door to get on the court. You ain't gonna be able to play ball. Don't do that. Don't do that. See what they say over here in the chats. Purpose, I think the biggest benefit of the merger is seeing Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon shows on the same platform. Cartoon Network. Yeah, but that's like Marvel and DC getting together, right? To me. I don't want to see I mean, it's cool. Like when they did the amalgam comics and everything, it was cool. And when they do the Avengers versus Justice League situation or Marvel versus DC, they do those comics sometimes. That's cool. But do we want to see that all the time? Do I want to see you saying just having it on the same platform? I feel you having it on the same platform, but you know they're going to try to merge Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. You know they're going to do that. Loretta Scott Summers. Not Loretta Scott Summers. Yeah, man. Feige. And yeah, look, and you know I've been kicking Marvel's back end, Feige's back end, because I don't think that he is the genius that everybody praised him to be. Not in the way that we're giving him. I do think he's genius, but not in the way that we're giving him. I think the creative side, he's non-existent. Him putting the creatives together to have them maneuver some things around and make a dope film. As a producer, he's good. As a creative, nah. Nope. Because the thing is, once all of those creative people left, that's when Marvel went down. And then he went and got, I hate to call them hacks, but that's what it seemed like. He just was grabbing. He just, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this person was up for an Oscar. Let's go get them. They don't know jack about comics. Taika Waititi, he run to go get Taika Waititi, who didn't care two shits about the Thor, anything to do with Thor. He was just in it for the money. So if it was good, then it was good. If it was bad, it was bad. He didn't care whatever, as long as the check cleared. You don't go and get those people. That's like going to get you as a GM, you go get a coach, and the coach don't care about the team. Long as the check clear, he don't care if we winning or we losing. Long as that check clear, that's bad for business in my eyes. Bad for business. Chloe Zhao, no disrespect to her, but she's not. That ain't her bag. Chloe Zhao went and made an art style comic book movie. Gorgeous film. Eternals was gorgeous. Boring as shit because it was an art style movie. She making it like she trying to win an Oscar for it. Nope, can't do that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this female-led X-Men report that came out. I don't know if it's true or not. But yeah, y'all let me know.